Lego Rocks, are you seriously making an entire full-length video because of one 10-second clip that was going viral on social media? Yeah, I am. Why, you might ask? Well, because this is a hype topic. I want to talk about this. You want to talk about this. Everybody wants to talk about this short little interview. Because earlier yesterday, the TSN video crew posted a little tidbit of commentary from Nick Suzuki, the captain of the Canadiens, as well as Cole Caufield. This took place on the golf course. There were a few other videos of them hitting balls. I don't really know what the proper terminology is for that. I don't really know anything about golf, I'm not going to lie. But the video that was posted yesterday on Twitter got a few thousand views and a lot of people going out there and responding to this in a very positive way. Essentially, it's the comments from Cole Caufield that made headlines, and a lot of people were very excited about this. So, let's go out there and read what the 18-second clip on Twitter goes out there and talks about. RDS tweeted this out with the video, and it reads this. Cole Caufield confirms that several Montreal Canadiens players wrote to Ivan Demidov after his selection, and that everyone in the organization is excited about his selection. Furthermore, to the commentary made in this tweet, here is the exact word-for-word quote from Caufield via Habs on Reddit on Twitter. It's pretty exciting. Everybody in the Habs organization is fired up for that pick. A couple of us have reached out. He seems like a really good kid. From his highlights, he's fun to watch. Everybody should be excited to get a player like that. And that's it. You know, that is all she wrote. There's nothing else to talk about aside from that. And you know, I guess we could expand on the topic a little bit. We can open the possibilities, leave the door open, Silk Sonic style, into a conversation or two about Ivan Demidov and what his impact alongside of a Cole Caufield could look like. And heck, if you want to talk about Demidov potentially rounding out as a Cole Caufield line mate, I think the best case scenario says that that type of predicament would be very welcomed for the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, think about it. If Ivan Demidov becomes the #1 center for Montreal because he can play C, then all of a sudden, Nick Suzuki is one of the better second-line centers in the NHL. Cole Caufield playing with Ivan Demidov and Slafkovsky sounds like an incredible line. Just think, the overall, no-nonsense, correct decision-making that Yuri Slafkovsky brings, the dynamic offensive potential and IQ that Demidov brings, the goal-scoring and the playmaking, and then the elite sniping that Caufield brings too. Not to diss Nick Suzuki or anything, but I do feel like there is sort of a limit as to what Nick Suzuki's NHL projectability and ceiling could be. Like, Suzuki is never going to be a 100-point caliber guy. At least, that's kind of what I think. You know, you could disagree with that for sure, and if he does get 100 points one day, then hey, that'd be great. I'd love to be proven wrong. But when it comes to Suzuki, we can kind of understand that there are some limits to his capacity as a hockey player. He isn't really like the fastest guy. He isn't the most agile. He's very smart and very methodical. He's got a wicked shot, and if you give him time and space, he can make some really great things happen. But if you're able to get that hockey sense, amplify it up tenfold, add on some elite dangles and some extra pace too, then Ivan Demidov could attain an offensive ceiling that I don't think Nick Suzuki is going to be able to sniff in his NHL career. And that is just me being as, you know, I don't want to say as kind as I can, because that was kind of a mean sentence. Yeah, he's never going to sniff that in his career. I don't know, man. Ivan Demidov, I think, has much more offensive potential long-term. And when you consider the Cole Caufield potential, too, his tendency, you know, to get into the correct areas. He always knows what to do. He knows where to be. He can put the puck in from anywhere. And when he plays with guys who understand him, that's when Caufield is at his best as well. Jack Hughes, I think, was the best player on the planet that Cole Caufield could have played with in 2018-19, for example, when Caufield broke all those records and played in that fantastic NTDP season that he had had. Ivan Demidov, I don't want to say he's like a Jack Hughes clone, but offensively, vision-wise, Demidov being that guy could be so strong. And I think this also plays very well into the conversation we had a few days ago as to why the Canadiens passed up on Matvei Michkov, but instead took Demidov 1 year later. Matvei Michkov exhibited a very similar play style to Cole Caufield, very versatile, goal-scoring machine on the wing. Demidov is not necessarily just that. He can play center, he can drive play, and he can do some really fancy things with the puck to set up other guys, rather than just being the trigger man himself on a line. And in the comment section of that video that we had posted also, there were a lot of people agreeing, saying, hey, that makes sense, you know, like, sure, Michkov isn't really like the biggest guy out there, he's not Caufield small, unfortunately, but if you wanted to go out there and talk about smaller guys with similar goal-scoring profiles, Michkov and Caufield have a similar enough profile to each other that you could have that benefit of the doubt there. But Demidov, even though he's not like the biggest dude out there, he has a much different profile, and it's more versatile, it's all around, and he can play down the middle, which is something Michkov nor Caufield have exhibited in the past. So it totally makes sense for me, and for Caufield to go out there and say that for him, he had reached out to the guy, a lot of other Canadiens players reached out to the guy upon his draft selection in 2024. It really bodes good things for the future when you consider just how close this group is becoming straight away. Kent Hughes was always talking about the leadership, and Marty St. Louis was always here to bring up those same qualities, you know. This is all carrying over from the days of Shea Weber as the captain. So incorporating your young prospects, especially guys who are going to be as good as players like Matvei Michkov, or not Michkov, excuse me, Ivan Demidov are going to be, it makes me very excited as to the long-term potential of what this guy could bring. And then you have yourselves Nick Suzuki as a second-line center playing alongside of a Kirby Dach or whatever. That seems like a super good pairing as well. I mean, Suzuki, second-line C, he already fit as a first-line center this previous year, but if Demidov is just better and you give Suzuki more easy minutes on the second unit, that sounds like a really good pairing for him as well, and I think for the Montreal Canadiens heading into the long-term future, there could be some extraordinary benefits to this Ivan Demidov pick just a few years later. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Cole Caufield speaking out about Ivan Demidov, him making his comments talking about how it's super exciting and how a lot of Canadiens players reached out to the guy. It seems like he's been watching a lot of Demidov highlights as well, just like most of us, right? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below how the Montreal Canadiens players are reacting to the pick. Also, if you have any extra thoughts to share about the golfing that was going on as well, because there were some video clips of that circulating around, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.